Welcome to an episode of r/slash malicious compliance, where we share stories of people conforming to the letter, but not the spirit of a request. Sit back and enjoy these stories, and at the end of this video, make sure to like and comment, and definitely subscribe if you have not already done so. Enjoy. And this story is posted by u/Searchwine. Karen doesn't like me knocking? Okay then, I won't. I work for a parcel delivery company in Australia. I often get special requests from customers for how to handle delivery to their addresses, and they're usually really polite about it, so I try my best to help them out a bit. Today, after knocking on the door, it was promptly answered by a Karen who was not happy. You see, she was sitting rather close to the door and my knock had scared her. No big deal, it happens sometimes and we usually laugh it off. But Karen immediately proceeded to berate me on how terrible of a person I am for having knocked so loud when she was sitting so close, as if I'm supposed to know where she is in her house. If she was polite, I might have tried to work something out, and I still tried the diplomatic approach of apologizing and move it on. But she simply got louder and angrier. So loud that the neighbor came out to see what the commotion was. She ended up demanding my name and telling me she would be lodging a complaint about me. When I finished my shift, I was informed from my boss that the complaint had indeed been lodged. What I hadn't expected was that the neighbor had also called in to stand up for me and say that I had been verbally abused by Karen. My company has recently taken out a zero tolerance policy on abuse towards staff. Because of Karen's outburst, we have all been instructed that to ensure no one knocks on Karen's door too loud, we are never to deliver to her house again. We are the only delivery company that services her area, and she is a heavy online shopper. And this story is posted by u/SGY0003. Don't like my new policy? Take it up to my dad, the CEO. Okay, let's dance. Not my story, but something that happened with my uncle during the early 2000s in South Korea. So my uncle was in an upper division head position for the company he was working for. He practically did most of the heavy lifting, so he was considered a valuable asset to the company. Everyone loved him. He had a wife and a then grade school son, aka my cousin, and was paid well. What everyone loved him about the most was that he tried to get along with everyone in the building. And I mean everyone. To the interns who just started, to the ladies at the front desk, and even all the way to the janitorial ladies, he always made sure to greet and chat with them, and always made them feel like they belonged. Trust me, this is important later. In came in Mi Jin, a 25-year-old woman who was the new staff to join the company. Right off the bat, she was placed a few ranks above my uncle. He was rather annoyed that a younger person was giving him orders, but he had a family to take care of, so he decided to play along. At first, Mi Jin wasn't all that bad. She finished with masters in business and had plenty of internship experience in the U.S., so her skills and tactics helped the company quite a lot. My uncle began to like her until she dropped the bombshell of a policy. Apparently, she didn't like the fact that the office workers were sharing the lunch cafeteria with the janitorial staffs. So she made a new policy that janitors aren't allowed lunch. She didn't mean they couldn't use the cafeteria. She was literally taking away their lunch break. She ordered my uncle to be the one to break the news. My uncle did not like this, so he contested every time she was bringing this up. It finally got to the point where she revealed how she had the audacity to make such a policy. She revealed herself to be the daughter of the CEO of the company, and she said, as my uncle quoted, "If you don't like my new policy, then take it up to my dad, the CEO. I can ruin your life in an instant. This is just a taste of what's to come once I inherit the company and become the new CEO." This is when we had enough and began to meticulously plan her downfall. He first told the new policy janitor staff, and they were pissed. He assured them that he will set this straight and told them all they had to do was to make their voices heard and gave them few ideas. For the next few days, they went on a strike, letting everyone know how they are underpaid and starved while working there. My uncle admitted that the strike released all the built-up frustration, and the things that came out of the janitor crew were a bit more than he asked for, some he wasn't even aware of and shocked to hear about. Mistreatment that was going on behind his back, office folks leaving too much of a mess everywhere, underpay, physical pains, long hours, etc. Granted, fewer than my uncle was aware of, but not to the extent the janitor team described as. The CEO got involved and put a lot of effort into negotiate and calming them down before the Korean version of Department of Labor got involved with the lawsuit. He promised that they would be treated better and paid better. When the dust settled, he demanded to know who was the one that implemented the policy in the first place. Jin tried to coerce my uncle to take the fall, but he complied with what she said and took it to the CEO. He showed the new policy document signed by her, which even included the part about terminating anyone who spoke against the policy. Now the CEO was pissed and was originally planning to fire his daughter. Apparently, he knew about her entitled nature for a very long time, but never expected to impact so many people. Jin begged to stay, and the CEO allowed her to do so at the cost of demotion from her current role. Which role was she moved to, you may ask? She was moved to the trainee position of the janitorial team, and the CEO even said to them, "Oh, please don't go easy on her. Be strict on her first day." She quit after a mere week of her new role. And this story is posted by u/Daxa Aryan. HR wasn't informed of changes in my working. I work as a technical architect, product designer for a software company, medium enterprise, and I am only 24 years old. At 24 years, you don't usually see a lot of people in that designation, so most of the new senior hires look down on me. I have been working my butt off at this place since this was a startup with less than 50 employees. Hence, I've done all sorts of jobs for this place. I've taken the letters to post office and even cleaned the office on odd nights. Probably that, and maybe that I am good at what I do, has helped me be very known and loved by the CEO, CTO, and people of those ranks. We got a new HR in October, and I was on medical leave during those months. Her designation says she's the senior HR executive, and we'll call her Janice, and when I joined back, I did not bother to inform her because I did not know she exists. Now, that is kind of bad from my part, but I directly walked into the CEO's room. He hugged me and welcomed back. The HR director was also there. We spoke for 15 minutes. I was assigned my new project, and honestly, that was it. Most senior officials in office have their designated cabins, but we haven't put our names outside it. It is just named C1, C2, and so on. Ironically, we have our COO in C4, and he's always angry and willing to explode. But most of the old employees sit outside with the team to work. Probably because we are yet to get used to the luxury of a cabin. Haha. Janice just walks up to me and tells me that I'm supposed to have my induction and joining back training to be conducted, and I tell her that I would do it once I am free, as I have certain meetings aligned with my team already to understand the new project. And trust me, I know the policies around as much or better than most people, so I did think that I was above her law. But I think I pissed her off as I immediately got a mail with the HR director looped. I canceled my events and decided to attend her session, but I think I fell in her bad books that day. During the session, I said that I was unaware that this training was to be done, and that is why I had set up meetings, and Janice told me, "Things always change, and it is your job to be aware." Honestly, a very beautiful and truthful sentence that I am taking with me for the rest of my life. Months pass, and I am working from a client's office in the city, which means I just log into my building after winding up my task at the client location. With the traffic, I reach back pretty late, around 11 p.m., and I spend an hour or two here and call it a day. This is not normal. The task was tough, timeline small. I guess you've all been there. One fine morning, I received the mail saying I have an inquiry this month as I have been clocking less than 2 hours in the office, and that I have a one-on-one to explain it to Janice why I wasn't there. Now I am pissed. In all the years I have worked here, I was never asked in for an inquiry. What pissed me off even further was that I had to explain to Janice, of all the people. During my one-on-one, where a lot of HR associates were present, I tell Janice that I work out a client's office and that those 2 hours you see is me traveling over 20 kilometers from the client's place and then working from here after my time there. I also ping my CEO in this span as I did not have time for Janice to spit. CEO walks in and we explain the whole situation to him, and he blasts Janice for asking me to explain stuff to her. He also tells her that I am working at clients and that exempts him from these policies. He also adds that these policies don't apply to my kids, the OG 50 employees who build the stack up. She, now at a loss of words after understanding there's no point in messing with me, says, "But we were not informed of this change." And I said in Buddha-like voice, I like to believe, "Things always change, and it is your job to be aware." And this story is posted by u/Boris Johnsons. The following is a seminal moment in my life. A few months ago, I was cooking pasta on a day off and got a phone call from Microsoft telling me I had a problem with my computer. The nice Indian gentleman told me what to do, and even though I had no computer near me, I followed his instructions and passed the embedded tests he gave me to make sure I wasn't taking the piss. Like, him, what is the key next to the control button? Me, the Windows key. A few more commands, and then he read me out a code to type into my imaginary computer dialog box. It went like this. Him, P, me, P, him, 1, me, 1, him, P, me, D, him, no, P, me, D, him, no, P, me, P, him, no, 1P, me, 1P, him, swears in Hindi, me, swears back in Hindi as I randomly know some Hindi swear words. Him, dies laughing, me, swears some more in Hindi, but going way over the top. Him, can't breathe laughing. Every now and then, since that call, I answer the phone to a barrage of Hindi swear words and laughter. Awesome. These were 4 great stories, so we definitely thank you for listening, and do us a huge favor, comment, like, share, and definitely subscribe for sure, so you'll be able to get more of the reminders for new videos that come out in the future. Have yourselves an incredible day. This has been TNA Top Notch Audio.